Okay, lovely. So people are starting to come in. Hello, Lily Page. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. So we'll just leave it kind of 2 more minutes, Imran, and then we'll get started if that's okay.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
So, Imran, what did you have for lunch?
What did I have for lunch? Oh man, well I made some pretty awesome turkey burgers, right, from scratch. So I got some like turkey mince, and yeah, it feels a bit weird, like considering like we're talking about the ugly duckling. But yeah, I had some turkey for lunch. Like, yeah, it was good. How about you? What did you have?
Well, Imran, I'm vegan.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. No, I mean I had aubergine. I had roasted aubergine, and I've never eaten an aubergine in my life.
Yeah, because what I tend to eat, Imran, is just grass and a
Yeah,
carrot.
that's yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's something I've noticed about you, Fran. Whenever we work together, I bring my ham sandwich, you bring your grass and lettuce and like acorn sandwich. I don't know what
What
do you
did I
eat,
have? I
please.
had pasta. I had pasta. Hello, evening mortals. Lovely to see you. And hi, Jane, as well. Oh, it's so nice. We've got Sasha and Jane and Lily with us, which is really, really fun. Okay, so I'm just getting a text from the tech support. Okay, great. So hello and welcome to GSC's very first live chat session. We are very, very excited. So for the next 6 weeks, every Friday at 4 o'clock, you'll be joined by me, Fran, and a special guest. And this week, our special guest is Imran.
Hello.
Cool. Imran, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone, how's it going? Yeah, I'm Imran. I'm a professional actor. I wear bandanas at the moment because like most of the world, haven't been able to get to the barber, so now my hair's kind of flopping in front of my eyes. I don't know what else can I tell you. Yeah, just kind of it's stuck in lockdown right now. Yeah,
How many bandanas does one have, Imran?
one has one for every day of the week and two for Sunday. So quite a quite a
Sunday you go
range. Yeah.
swimming like the ugly duckling. So
Literally, yeah. It's something, yeah, I've realized I was going to do the whole kind of like shaved head thing a lot of chaps are doing. But I've realized that I have a very oddly shaped head. It's something that I've had to come to terms with at this stage of my life. So yeah.
well, just to let you know that Lily, Sasha, Jane, and I are all here for you in
Thank
your
you.
oddly shaped head brigade.
I,
And
re-
they
I
also
appreciate
dress
that. Thank you.
bandanas. So there we go, which is fun.
Oh, amazing.
Okay, cool. So the whole point of these chats on a Friday is just a chance for us to come together. So any questions any of you have about the Everyday Miracles project? So that's the playwriting videos with Ant on a Monday, or the wellbeing videos with Louise on a Wednesday. Feel free to ask us any questions. And also, as I said, Imran is an actor. He's a very good actor. So it's nice for us to ask him any questions that we have in terms of the industry, what it's like to be an actor, how we found recording the Ugly Duckling video. And anyone that's worked with me before knows once you do a project with us, you are very much part of the GSC family. So welcome to the GSC family. Okay, great. So, Imran, tell us a little bit about how you've been involved with GSC.
So I first worked for the GSC. The GSC was actually my first job out of drama school. I was part of the production of Winter's Tale, played Florizel. Florizel. Yeah, tough name to pronounce. Yeah, which was really fun. It was kind of my first step in the industry. I was like 21 at the time, wasn't really sure what I was doing. Still not sure what I was doing. But yeah, the GSC was a kind of great supportive place to be in your first job, and I've been very happy to come back and work on a lot of education projects in primary schools and secondary schools. Taking plays like Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, Mackie B, as I like to call it. What else? Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah, I've been really happy to be involved in the kind of outreach and education side of things in schools. It's yeah, it's been really fun.
And do you
Yeah.
have a favourite part that you played with us or elsewhere?
Man, that's tough. I don't. I love Shakespeare's the like reason why I got into acting. Like it's so tough to kind of choose a favorite part. You know, it's kind of what I really love to do. Banquo is always fun. I love playing Banquo. In Macbeth, you know, his kind of best mate who watches him kind of slowly descend into being a fairly evil man. Um, Paris, playing Paris in Romeo and Juliet's great because everyone's like, wait, who's Paris? He's the dude that Juliet's meant to marry. And yeah, he's usually quite a fun comic part for me
And
anyway.
when you were Paris for us, you had the most hideous
Oh,
outfit.
oh, it was amazing. It was like mustard yellow t-shirt with like green suspenders and like a bow tie. Oh, it was ridiculous. And like glasses. Oh, it was the most ridiculously funny thing.
And that
Um,
the kind of jumper that you tied
yeah,
nicely
yeah.
around.
Like posh, kind of like one of those like super raw, like yeah, like Jacob Rees-Mogg, but younger, yeah. Like, oh, it was so jokes.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's
So
really
we
fun.
have a question here from Lily, who asks, what do you have to do after school to go on to musical theatre? Or I suppose acting in general as well.
Yeah, sure. Musical theatre. Yeah, so I actually used to do a lot of kind of singing. Like I loved musicals growing up. My partner does a lot of musical theatre, as well. There are several kind of drama schools that cater specifically towards that kind of branch of the industry. So I'm thinking Mount View, I'm thinking Arts Ed, just to name a few. So you can go and train basically, and you can learn, or or brush up your current skills. I don't know, you might be a brilliant dancer, brilliant singer already, but yeah, you go and you train basically, and then you kind of uh, go into that branch of the industry. Or you can. There are so many different routes into theatre and acting and musical theatre. You know, you can kind of record your own stuff at home. That's a great way to get noticed. You can join
Well,
kind
there
of
seems to be a lot of people on YouTube nowadays that are uploading videos and songs and dances.
yeah, exactly. That's a great route into it as well. Yeah, there are so many different ways to do it. I guess the kind of big thing I'd say is just keep singing, sing every day, sing every like weekend, sing in the shower, like sing in the park, like sing on your way to like school or work, like yeah, just sing as much as possible, act as much as possible. And
And
yeah,
it's a great way to make sure people are keeping their 2 meter distance if you're singing walking down the street, because I doubt people will come near you. So
Well, I guess it depends on how like well you sing, because if you're really good, I'm sure like a big old crowd will gather. Um, yeah. Yeah.
good.
Great question.
Yeah, and also there's National Youth Music Theatre and
Mm.
National Youth Theatre, which is it under 25 year old?
Yeah, I think so. So the National Youth Theatre, I think you can join it over the age of 16. From what I remember. And every year they do kind of professional level shows that agents and industry people come to. So that again is a great way to, get experience first of all, but also kind of take your first steps out there. I guess, yeah, what I'm trying to say is there's really no right or wrong answer. Or if there is, I sure haven't found it yet. So yeah, you know.
Cool. And I think we've got a bit of a musical vibe because we've just got a
Oh, cool.
question asking what your favorite musical is.
Oh man, that is a tough one. My days. So I loved like kind of the classics growing up. Like I was a big Les Mis fan. I put on the tapes of Michael Ball in the car when I was younger. Phantom of the Opera holds a soft spot in my heart. Hamilton though, at the moment, Hamilton is yeah, it's awesome, and it's going to be streaming on Disney Plus soon. So I can't wait. I've never seen the show in person. I'm looking forward to watching that.
Hamilton is definitely my show of choice at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And it just
brilliant.
gets in your head.
Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah.
lyrics are so catchy and it's just so well written and he clearly has done his he knows his musical theater. Like there are so many references to other shows and kind of like little in jokes with other with other writers and stuff. It's really great.
And there's a
So,
couple of cheeky Macbeth references in there as
there
well.
are, yeah. I'm just trying to think of the lyrics. I can't. Maybe one of you, maybe one of you can remember.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure someone will come up with it. But yeah, there's definitely something
Scottish
about
tragedy
burning
without
wood
my having a name.
coming
The play.
to.
Yeah, I think I can just about remember a bit of it. I won't embarrass myself with my rapping. My rapping's not very good, I got to say.
Okay, that's
Work
a
in
special
progress.
treat for later. I've got a question here. Do you have a favourite type of role to play? So a hero, a villain, a best friend? These are good questions.
Yeah, these are great questions. Oh man, I don't know. I think playing a villain is always quite interesting because I think your job as an actor is never to play a villain. Basically, if you're playing Macbeth or if you're playing, I don't know, I can't think of a villain off the top of my head now. Scar from The Lion King just came up for some reason. Maybe that's like the archetype of a villain in my mind. Anyway, but if you're playing a villain, like the key thing you have to do as an actor is not think of them as bad guy. You know, you have to kind of think of what the world is from their point of view, which is interesting because you know if you're playing a good guy, you know if you're playing Romeo or someone like that, you know it's kind of easier maybe to feel like they're good. But if you're playing a bad guy, you have to like do a lot of kind of mental gymnastics to try and justify the choices that they make because you know they're usually pretty bad choices, which is fun. It's interesting. It's a great kind of mental exercise because I don't feel very villainous in real life. So yeah, great question.
I
Great
think that's
question.
the best thing about drama, isn't it? You know, in real life, I'd say I'm a pretty polite person. So when
Mm,
you're on stage, it's really nice to be horrible to someone for, you know,
yeah,
5 minutes and
brilliant.
then get it out of your system. And then,
Yeah,
you know, you can move on. You can use that anger, kind of channel it, and then move
yeah.
on and enjoy your day.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's wonderful. Like, I mean, in real life, if I'm upset about something or angry about something, I'll maybe like go and make a cup of tea and be really kind of like moody, like stare at the fridge. But on stage, you can like yell and scream and like throw things around and get in stage fights. Like, you know, you can express yourself in so many different ways, in ways you might not usually when, you know, you're kind of just bumbling around in normal life.
And it's
Um,
kind of a safe way to challenge it,
and it's really
channel it
safe
as
as well.
well,
Yeah,
isn't it?
you can kind of explore these things without you know, yeah, in a safe environment, I guess. Um, yeah, great
That's
questions and
really
stuff.
good. I've got one from Jane. If you were the king of GSC for the year, so Guildford Shakespeare Company GSC, what would be the production that you would put on, or productions that you would put on?
Productions. Oh
So
man.
Channel King, Channel for. Imagine Matt and Sarah morphed into this holy crown that you put on top of your head.
Oh, sorry, Fran. I kind of lost the internet there a little bit. What was the kind of remind me of the question again? It kind of cut
Oh,
out.
sorry.
I heard like king,
So
crown,
if
like
you were
Matt
the
and Sarah
king,
amalgamated.
you were the king, Crown, Macbeth, you know, Matt, Sarah.
Mhm.
If you were the king of GSC, what productions would you put on? And I imagine what parts you would cast yourself into.
Oh man, that is such a tough question. Okay, so what I'd love to do, I as I said, I adore Shakespeare, right? So what I would want to do is I'd want to do a whole season of the histories, right? Like the Hollow Crown series, everything from Richard II all the way through to Richard III, because the fascinating and awesome thing about those plays, and there's like 7 or 8 of them, is there are so many characters that are in one play and then pop up in another, or who are referenced in another play.
Mm.
And I'd have all of the actors kind of playing those parts through. So like Richard III, who's this kind of like he's presented as quite an evil dude. He first appears, I think, in Henry VI parts two, one or
Okay.
two. So yeah, it's this kind of great through line of parts. Um, Either that or there's a play called Coriolanus, which I just watched Tom Hiddleston's version last night, and it's just one of the best written plays I've ever experienced. And yeah, I'd love to put on a production of that. I'd love to, yeah, love to be in that. Yeah, I think, yeah, so many. I mean,
I
it's
think,
tough. There's so many different options, you know. So yeah, either that or a musical. Either that or like I don't know, a big kind of jazz hands musical in the church. I think that'd be awesome.
yeah, and for me, that's the best advice that anybody's ever given me when I was like, I think I want to be an actor or I want to be involved in the world, was
Mm.
just to see as much theatre as you can. And at the moment, there's so much amazing stuff being live streamed from the national, from the RSC, from ourselves at GSC. You know, we're doing Wind in the Willows at the moment. There's so much amazing pieces of theatre that you could watch and learn from, and look at what you like, what you don't like, and why that might be.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the key things you got to do, and yeah, this is advice you should take with you. Like, yeah, if you want to be an actor, like, sit down every night and watch a film. Like, over the weekend, like, don't go out and play games or sports. Like, sit inside and watch movies all day. Watch theatre live streams, go to the theatre. Yeah, any show you can watch. It's all a like really valuable learning experience. And at the moment, yeah, the live streams at the National, particularly, like Danny Boyle's Frankenstein. I got to see that the other day. That was live streamed about a month ago or so. That was stunning. Missed that in real life. What an awesome show. So yeah.
Nice, nice. And we've got here that actually I played Romeo and Macbeth with GSC in my junior school, and you came to our school to do Midsummer Night's Dream, which was maybe one of
Ah,
our delights, which is
yeah.
really, really exciting. Who did you play in A Midsummer Night's Dream, Imran?
So I think if I remember right, I was Oberon, the King of the
Oh
Fairies.
my gosh, because you had those amazing tie-dye
Yeah.
green trousers, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, and the like the goldy like black kind of cape thing. Yeah, that was a really fun show. Yeah, really really enjoyed that. And Lysander, the lovers fight in that show is very 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 funny. So
Mm.
yeah.
Nice. And if we think about the Ugly Duckling, so you, Lucy, Matt, and Sarah got together over kind of 2 mornings. It was quite quick in terms of a rehearsal process, and recorded the Ugly Duckling. What did any did anything stand out for you doing it? Anything about in the playwriting videos, and has asked them to think about the world and the type of characters? I just wondered what stood out for you when you were performing or rehearsing it.
Oh, what in terms of like the world that the characters are in? Um, Yeah, I mean, there were so many different kind of characters that the ugly duckling encounters. So obviously there's the other ducklings that treat him badly. Then there's like a weird cat. Like he runs into a cat that if you stroke its fur backwards makes sparks, right? It's like a magical cat. And then there's like an old goose, and then there's like a farmer that helps him out of the ice when he gets trapped later on. And then of course there are the swans. So there's a real kind of range of different characters um, in the Ugly Duckling. Yeah, it's really
And
kind
do
of.
you have a favorite character?
Oh yeah, the Ugly Duckling, definitely.
And
He's cool.
why
He
is that?
wears bandanas too.
Does he?
Yeah, yeah. He's really cool dude. I've heard. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and he wears a really cool headpiece as well, I imagine.
yeah, I think so. I think that's the kind of chap he'd be. Yeah.
Um, in terms of the Ugly Duckling, so we did. So this is going to be GSE's production in October. Some tales of Hans Christian Andersen, and I haven't read the Ugly Duckling in about 20 years, maybe. And suddenly reading it, all these childhood memories flooded back of, my mum reading it to me, and how much I identified with the Ugly Duckling. Did anything come back to you when you started to read the stories again?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean everyone knows the Ugly Duckling. Like I think yeah, it's something that everyone reads or has read to when they're like a kid. And I don't know about you, Fran, but I like growing up, I felt like the ugly duckling, you know? And I think that's something that everyone feels. That's a really interesting thing, is no matter who you talk to about it, um, everyone feels like they were the ugly duckling when they were growing up. Yeah, it's a great, I
Particularly
think it's a
when you're
great,
like a teenager, because
yeah.
I just you don't necessarily, sometimes you do, but you don't necessarily have your people, the people that you have things in common with, that like similar things to you. And I know it, for me at high school, I just wanted to blend in, so whatever anybody else liked, I also liked that.
Yep,
And
yep.
now suddenly as an adult, you know, it's actually really good to stand out, to be different from everyone else. And yeah, it's an interesting journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I was the nerdy kid at school with reading Shakespeare plays and stuff while everyone else played football. And yeah, I kind of felt like the ugly duckling because I was absolutely rubbish at football. Like I couldn't play it to save my life. But you kind of, yeah, you leave school and you're not stuck in that kind of world, and you get to kind of be yourself and do what you want, and it's all good. Yeah, it's a great story. It's a great kind of lesson. Um, yeah, about kind of growing up and stuff.
Nice. Okay, so we've got a couple more. Um, Someone's just also commented saying that the Hans Christian Andersen really describes my school life in The Ugly Duckling Man. That dude has future vision. Yes, yes, that's so true. That's
That
so
is, yeah,
true.
that's
It's
future vision.
interesting with
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Yeah, and that's the thing about that's the thing about Hans Christian Andersen, um, is like those kind of stories, like Shakespearean stories and stuff. Like they're kind of timeless. They apply as much now as way back when. Um, yeah.
yeah, lovely, lovely. Um, and also in the well-being videos that Louise did, she kind of spoke about she did a lovely kind of guided meditation on, you know, starting as an egg and then hatching and going into a lake, and kind of thinking about those areas that we find safe and those areas that we find uncomfortable. Do you kind of have any sharings of of any activities or any things you do when you are feeling a bit anxious in that kind of big wide world?
Um, yeah, I think it's important to breathe. I think if you're ever feeling uncomfortable or anxious about something, I think it's important to just take a couple of deep breaths as a start, and just try and figure out why you're feeling anxious. So for me, I guess the most relatable example is um, auditions, right? So I get very nervous before auditions. Even if I'm auditioning for people I know and I'm comfortable with, it's still a nerve-wracking process, right?
Well, you're putting
So
yourself on the line, aren't
yeah,
you?
it's a very vulnerable thing. So, it's important to take a couple of deep breaths, but also, just have perspective, that, however you feel in one moment, you won't necessarily feel the same in the next. And if you do, hey man, that's totally cool, because you might not feel the same in the next moment. And if you do, hey man, that's totally cool, because there's, so how you feel now is not necessarily how you're going to feel in the future, or have felt in the past. Yeah, things kind of pass like a. Sorry, I was getting really deep there, so I had to
No,
do
I
a kind of
really like this. I
deflection.
thought that was the
It
thing
was
to
that wave, like,
like a
life is
wave.
like a wave. You just got to go with the flow, I think,
Yeah, and that's
Um,
quite mesmerizing watching you do that. So
that's actually like rewind. That's my overwhelming advice. Anytime you feel anxious, just go with the flow. Go with the flow.
nice.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking again after watching Louise's video. She invited everyone to create their safe space, to create their den, and it's really got me thinking what I would have in my den. And I realised fairy lights are a necessity for me. Chocolate is a
Hmm.
necessity to me, and my doggy. So I wondered what you would put in your den if you were creating one.
Oh man. Okay. I don't know. A PS4, definitely important to have some kind of entertainment, right?
Is
How?
it
Wait, no, no.
video
This is important. How long are we staying in this den, Fran? Like, is this kind of like, am I staying in this den now, like for like 10 years? Is this kind of like an end of the world, like kind of
Oh,
Noah's
wow.
Ark kind of den? Because if it is, then a PS4, like loads of tinned goods, like a penknife for survival, like an inflatable life raft, like a kind of like rescue whistle just in case I need to get someone's a phone. I'd need a phone. Yeah, is that the kind of
Yeah, I was anticipating, an hour or two, a pleasant
an hour? Oh,
time
okay.
out.
In
But
that case, like a good like cup of tea maybe and some chocolate. Definitely chocolate.
so we've gone from penknife, bow and arrow to
Yeah.
tea and a
Like
biscuit.
yeah, fire making. Like what's the thing you use to make fire where it's like a stick and then like a saw kind of like bow and you kind of like and it spins the stick and then it makes a spark. I'd have one of those. That's like vital. That's a vital bit of kit that. Either that or a lighter, a box of matches. I don't know.
Cool. You're getting lots of support for the old PS4.
Yes.
So, where is your den, and why do you need a life raft? Yeah, I'm not sure where your den is, but Imran's
Well,
just
listen, the important thing about if you have a den, if you have a survival den for the end of the world, right, you need to be prepared for every eventuality, right? So you've got to have a life raft, right? You've got to have a life jacket, you've got to have a parachute. You never know, right? You need to be prepared for everything, right?
yeah, great. Okay, we've got time for maybe one more question. We've got one. Who's your favorite Shakespeare character? I know they're tough questions.
Man. Okay, do you mean like favorite character or character I'd most like to play?
Give us both.
Both. Oh man, that is a tough one. That is a
Or the
really
one
tough
that
one.
you can that comes easiest to mind, maybe.
Okay, I'm with you. Gotcha. So Richard III, love the play. Great play, really fast paced, loads of action. Um, yeah, really interesting character because he's villainous, but also, he's got a massive chip on his shoulder because he's been kind of abused his whole life. He's been kind of called bad, like horrible names and stuff. So you kind of empathize with him a little bit. Coriolanus, because I watched that play last night. It's really fresh in my mind. Really interesting character. Or something funny, like I love like playing Lysander and Demetrius. The kind of lovers in Midsummer Night's Dream because they are very very funny. And it's always fun to do comedy. So yeah, great
Good.
question. Tough
Lovely.
question.
Really, really, really fantastic. Thank you so much, Imran, for coming and speaking with us today. It's been really lovely to get an insight into your life, really.
That's all right. It's a pleasure. Yeah, great to chat to you all, and stay safe. Have a great weekend, and enjoy the recordings.
Fab. Yes, so the recordings are still on the website. So if you'd like to see Imran as the Ugly Duckling, he's a very good swimmer. Please go to the Everyday Miracles website to view it. And those of you who are coming to join us for the GSC Cafe, so those of you who are 12 to 18 who are under CAMS and would like to be involved, you should have the Zoom link and I will open it up now. If not, send me an email at the longest email address known to mankind. So eo@guildford-shakespeare-company.co.uk. It's also on the website. Fantastic. Imran, just as people are signing off, what's your kind of lockdown revelation? What have you discovered?
You can never have too much cheese in the fridge.
That's deep. And that's the lasting memory that you're going to leave everyone with. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Imran. Thank you so much for joining us and for your wonderful questions.
That's all right. It's been an absolute pleasure. Take care, everyone. Good to see you.
Bye.
Take care.